Good morning and welcome to your weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, December 6th. I'm National Weather Service meteorologist Kevin Smith. Looking at the next week or so, fairly simple picture out there. We really have two things going on. First, expecting another round of dense fog, some pockets of dense freezing fog. Expected this morning, we'll see a repeat performance yet again Wednesday morning for some of our valley and plain areas, particularly prior to 11 a.m. That goes for both mornings. So motorists should remain alert for sudden drops in visibility. This isn't going to be widespread fog that everyone is going to continuously see. This is going to be little pockets here and there of some very dense fog conditions. So remain alert for those sudden drops in visibility. We encourage folks to slow down, use your low beam headlights if you have them. Look at the highway lines that are painted on the road if they're available, and use these strategies if you do run into one of those pockets of dense fog to help stay safe and get through that here for the next couple mornings. Otherwise, a few light snow showers in the northeast highlands, north and east of Idaho Falls into Caribou County today. Should be pretty low impact, but our next long-duration winter storm arrives Friday. This is starting to look a little wetter, a little snowier, possibly lasting 3 or more days for this next system, and it's starting to look quite snowy for the Wood River Valley. I want to call this out because the Wood River Valley is shadowed and doesn't see a ton of snow out of a lot of our winter storms that we get, but this is going to be one of those scenarios where the wind direction may be just right to really bring some snow accumulations to that area. Satellite this morning, not much going on in the big picture. You may be able to pick out a little bit of a spin here just off the coast of California. There's still a low pressure center here that is going to move down through the state of California and out into the Four Corners region with time. Not terribly concerned about that feature here. If you look further north, lots of blue underneath those higher level white and gray wispy clouds. All of the blue shading you see up here being picked up by the satellite is a combination of low stratus clouds and fog. And you can certainly see there is a lot of both here across our southeast Idaho forecast area. So again, be alert for that this morning. Weather risk outlook, we do have a few snow showers still for the eastern and northeastern highlands, generally north and east of Idaho Falls, and then down into portions of Caribou County today. So do be alert for those. Not going to be widespread, not looking for a lot of accumulation, but there may be a slick spot or two out there if we do see some of that snow shower activity. Can't rule out maybe an isolated snow shower Wednesday too, but I think today is going to be the best chance of activity. Outside of that, we've got those pockets of morning freezing fog, dense in some spots here for the next couple mornings. And then our next storm system arriving Friday. And again, this may be a long duration event from Friday into Saturday into at least Sunday for southeast Idaho. We've started highlighting a few areas too here with more moderate risk levels, particularly portions of the northeast and eastern highlands, also up into the Wood River Valley and the Stanley and Sawtooth region, possibly picking up some of the higher snow totals, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Looking at watches, warnings, and advisories, fog, again, is the main thing we're dealing with until that next storm arrives Friday. So it's been enough out there, been soupy enough for the Boise National Weather Service to issue a dense fog advisory yet again for portions of the Treasure Valley if you happen to be heading west. We also have an advisory out from the Salt Lake City office, a dense fog advisory from the city north up along the interstate corridor here to the Idaho border. Fog hasn't been terribly horrible and widespread here for most of our forecast area. So anywhere you see the tan shading here, we have again put out a text statement, what we call a special weather statement, just some information advising motorists to slow down and use caution and watch for those pockets of dense fog. So anywhere you see that shading, these are the areas that we're watching for some of those pockets of freezing fog to be out and about this morning, again, particularly before 11 a.m. Here's a look at where we're starting on the left and where we're going today for temperatures. Very similar to what we've been seeing as of late. Cold to start out the morning, getting up into the mid-20s to lower 30s by the time we get into this afternoon. And as usual, warmest readings here coming in across the eastern Magic Valley, the Raft River region, Pocatello 34, but places like Stanley, Island Park, Driggs, holding at least a few degrees colder this afternoon. Little change for Wednesday on those high temperatures. Again, other than a few pockets of fog out there in the morning, fairly quiet day across the region. Thursday should be fairly quiet as well. Here's a look at those pretty steady state temperatures. Again, 20s, maybe some low 30s, pretty dominant. Friday, again, very little change as our next system starts to work into the picture. So this next system, we're still a few days out. Oh, here's Saturday's temperatures as well. You might gain a degree or two for highs out there, again, with snow falling across much of the region. Still a few days out here on this next system. This is a very preliminary look at possible storm total snowfall over a 3-day period. This is not all falling in 12 or 24 hours. This is Friday into Saturday into Sunday. And I don't even want anyone to really get too caught up in these numbers just yet. Again, this is a ways out. A few things to notice here is this is a very first look at what we're tossing around here in our forecast. Looks like a pretty good event for portions of the Upper Snake Highlands and Fremont County. Wind direction is going to favor some upslope enhancement into that region. So you can see right now the numbers that we're forecasting. Again, don't get caught up in these. These are going to change day by day as this event approaches and the forecast gets fine-tuned. Certainly the southern and eastern highlands, as you get up into the higher elevations, particularly above pass level, just about every event here in southeast Idaho tends to do well down there. Up here in the northeast, not only are the sawtooths going to do well, but with a southerly wind direction, we're going to see upslope enhancement potential into the Wood River Valley. So you can see here some decent accumulations for Arco over into Cary and Peekaboo, and then especially as you get up into Bellevue, Haley, and possibly Ketchum. Again, right now, these numbers are over a 3-day period. They're very preliminary, but I do want to highlight the potential for some decent accumulating snowfall up into this region with this next system. Some of that sneaking up into Stanley as well, and of course the higher elevations of the Sawtooths and over in the Tetons should do quite well too. So we're going to continue the pattern of lots of snow, lots of moisture out there, which is certainly good for building high elevation snowpack, certainly good for spring water supply for farmers, certainly good in the context of our drought. At least for now, we're holding in that pattern here. Want to make a quick plug as well. Now that November is concluded, we have put together some statistics for November for Pocatello, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Burley, Stanley, and Challis. This graphic is available on our website right now at weather.gov/Pocatello if you'd like to take a look at it there. We also posted it on Facebook and Twitter, or you can pause the video here if you'd like to study these numbers a little bit. Been quite cold, one of the coldest Novembers on record here for our region. Also have this graphic out there on social media and our website, or you can pause the video. This is a comparison of our mountain snowpack, snow water equivalent compared to normal. November 30th readings here on the left, December 5th, more updated information here following the 2 storms that we just had here on the right. So again, we're doing very well for this time of year for high elevation snowpack, which is certainly good news. That's it for your briefing today. As always, questions, comments, concerns, please reach out. Please stay safe out there and have a great Tuesday.